So you found a great house you want to buy, but how do you know you're not getting ripped off? How do you know what the true market value of the property is? I'm going to show you how I do that step by step so you can too. Whether you're buying a house for yourself, buying an investment property, or selling your house, you need to determine what that asset is worth. What is the market willing to pay you for it? And the best way to do this in residential real estate is through comparables. We call them comps. So when you comp a house, you're comparing the subject property, or let's say your property, to other ones in the area that are similar to it. And you're trying to see what those homes sold for. And that's going to give you the metric of what your house is worth. We do this in residential real estate. This is not for commercial or any type of other real estate. This is specifically for people with single family homes or duplexes, triplexes, and even fourplexes. But as soon as you get to 5+ units, that goes into another type of real estate, and that's actually more of commercial valuation. So let's stick with the residential for today. Ultimately, the true value of a property is derived from what somebody is willing to pay for it. We can use all of these calculations and tools to find out what a property is worth, but once somebody buys it, we know that is what the marketplace is willing to pay for it. These tools we're going to go over are more for projections, to prepare you to list your home at the right price, to understand, am I buying this home at a good price? Am I getting it at a discount? Am I overpaying for it? These are tools and ways that you can get better at doing that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what is somebody willing to pay for my house. Real estate agents dictate the value of your home using what's called a C.M.A, Comparative Market Analysis. And this is what we were talking about before when I said comps. They're just basically looking at the surrounding area. What have they sold for? Take the average of that, and now what is your property worth based on that? So we're gonna go through that step by step and how you can do it yourself. But before that, I wanna show you some quick sources that you can use online to dictate what your property is worth. And then you can kind of use that to take an average and compare it to what number you get, so you can see how close you are. If it's way off, there's a discrepancy there. That's either you did something wrong in the C.M.A, or those numbers that they're getting from online sources are way off. One of the first places that I like to go to get a quick number of value, I look at Bank of America. They have a quick home value estimator on their website. You plug in your address, you submit that, and it comes up with a number for you based on comps in the area. I also like to use redfin.com. That's a great one. Realtor.com, and as you probably already know, Zillow.com, they have what they call their Zestimate, and that gives you an estimate of the market value. You can take 3-4 of those numbers and see, oh wow, these all look similar. So maybe it's somewhere around here. That's a good starting point, right? But now these numbers are not going to be as accurate as a true C.M.A done by a real estate agent with the most accurate, up-to-date information on the MLS. So let's talk about how to do a C.M.A. So when doing a C.M.A, you need to understand that you're looking at houses that have sold in the last 6 months. This is normal, but today's market is very different because the rates are changing super quick and the market values are shifting day by day. So today, I would say you want to look within the last 60 days to get the most accurate picture of what your property is worth. After you know that, you need to look at 8 different things. And these 8 pieces of information are important, and these are the things that are going to show you what your house is really worth. Number 1 is the square footage. Number 2 is the bedrooms and bathrooms. Number 3 is the layout. Number 4 is the year built. Number 5 is the location. Number 6 is the finished percentage of the basement. Number 7 is the sold price, and number 8 is the listing date. So the first thing is the square footage, right? You want to compare what the square footage is of the comparables to your subject property. So for instance, if your subject property is 2,000 square feet total, you want to only look at other houses or comparables that have a square footage of 1,700 to 2,300 square feet. This is within 15% of your subject property. So make sure you keep it within that range. The second thing you're looking for in comparables is the bedrooms and bathrooms. If you have a 2-bedroom home, only try to compare it to other 2-bedroom homes. If you have to, you can go up one to a 3-bedroom, but it's always better to try to get a perfect match. Same thing with the bathrooms, no more than 1 full bath discrepancy. Do not compare a 2-bathroom home to a 4-bathroom home. It's just too far off. The third thing is the layout. Is it a single family home that's 1 level, or is it a split level? Is it a ranch style home, or is it a 3-story home? These are the layouts of the house, and you don't want to compare a 3-story home to a 1-level home. They're just completely different things. So even though you may have the same bedrooms and bathroom setup, that style is completely different and the values are going to be different. If the house has a basement versus not a basement, that's a big difference. The next thing is the year built. The newer the home, the closer you want it to be to the subject property's age. If it's an older home, you can have a little bit more wiggle room. I would try to stay within 10 to 20 years of the year built. So for instance, if it was built in 1950, you want it to be, the subject property comparables should be no more than like 1960 or 1970, and then the other end would be 1940 to 1930. If it's built like 2006, then you want to look at something that's maybe 2010 or 2002. Number 5 is the location of your comps. It should be within a 1-mile radius to be like the most ideal, but sometimes it's hard to find sold homes that are similar to yours in that vicinity if you're in a very suburban area. So you can go outside of that radius if need be, maybe a couple of miles, but try to stick within a mile if you can. Number 6 is the finished percentage of basement. This just means if the house has a basement, some of those basements are finished. Like they have heating, they have nice flooring, you can live in them, right? That would be 100% finished. They're livable and they're legal. But if you compare it to another house that has a basement and it's bare bones and it's really just for storage, it's cold, it's damp, it's not livable, that's a very different basement setup and it's going to change the value of the property. So make sure you understand what you're comparing to. Next thing is looking at the sold price of your comparables in the area. When a property is listed, let's say at $250 and it's sold for $270, that shows you that that property was probably listed too low to begin with. So pay attention to the sold price versus the original list price. Last thing to look at is the listing date. If it was listed for 180 days on the market, then you have an idea that that house was priced way too high. It should have sold a lot earlier than that. So make sure when you're looking at the comps that you're taking a look at the listing date and how long it was on the market for. Now that you have the 8 criteria you're looking for in your comps, you're going to come up with a list of houses that fall within this criteria, and then you're going to narrow that list down to about 3 to 5 really solid comps, the ones that are most similar to your house. Once you have that list of 3 to 5 homes, you want to take the average of those homes and what they sold for, and that gives you your new property value. That's it. That's how you dictate the true value of a property. I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks for watching today's video. I'll see you on the next one. Remember, keep going, keep learning, and keep grinding.